YNR fans, did you not see what happened in today's episode? Kyle accepts Diane for who she is. Summer is acting cold to her mother-in-law. And then Amanda arrives home just as Devon is making out with Abby. Welcome back to CBS Soap Dish Recap, where we recap everything CBS soaps, both the young and the restless, and the bold and the beautiful. This is your Young and the Restless recap for November 7th, and without any further ado, let's talk about this episode. So we start out over at the Abbott mansion where we see Diane waiting for Kyle and Summer to come in. When they rush inside, she tells them that Harrison is up in bed. Now they thank her for letting them know all about his illness. And hey, Dee Dee would do anything to protect her grandson. So they race upstairs. Later Jack arrives. They're back downstairs. We see Harrison sucking on a freeze pop. And Summer is cold to Diane. Now she wants to explain herself to Summer, but Summer was like, nah, I need to focus on Harrison right now. Now everyone explains why Kyle gets the kid ready for the hospital, that's what that focus should be. Jack vows to keep his ex apprised of any changes. Dee Dee, Diane, tells Harrison the doctor will make him feel all better, but he wants his Dee Dee to be there and to come with him. Now, everybody is reluctantly agreeing to let her come while Summer gets a work call with Jack. Diane thanks her, but Summer was like, yeah, whatever, and she turns her head. So now we're over at Society, and Lauren is arguing with Michael about Diane colluding with Tucker McCall. Now, Michael sees it as gray areas, causing Lauren to call him just unbelievable. Phyllis sashays in, and she don't get it either. Now, Michael reminds his BFF and his wife that Diane was the one that admitted to all of this. Phyllis think, yeah, that's the point. She confessed now, not when she returned. Now, the two women see a pattern, but Michael doesn't. And he's thrilled when he get a text in saying that the boss needs him. He takes off. Phyllis is moaning and groaning that they have two troublemakers in their lives, and she feels that nobody ever listens to her. Lauren was like, well, I do. And Phyllis thinks Diane is winning Jack over too. She's working her game. Oh, we share child together. We share grandchild together. And Phyllis thinks Diane is there for Jack, not Kyle. Now, she bets Diane wants to marry Jack. She created this whole narrative in her own head. Now, Lauren tells Phyllis to stop this whole thing for her own sanity. And I agree with you because it sounds like Phyllis is going off on the deep end with this. So now we swing over to Devon's house, and he's there and he cannot concentrate. Now he's looking at Neil's photo and flashes back to graduating and talking to Neil about what he wanted to do in the summer. They talked about music being a tough business, but that Neil believed in his son. Now, Devon remembers his dad for supporting him from day one, and then he flashes back to how Neil wanted to hire him. They talked about how Devon impressed Victor and became a music producer with a cochlear implant. Neil proved himself, and he couldn't ask for anything more an employee or a son. Now, Devon wonders if he was wrong in his treatment of Nate, and then he flashes back again to Neil and a discussion surrounding holding grudges. A knock is at the door. It's none other than Abby and Dominic. Now, she hopes it's okay that she stopped by with him as she gets some coffee after he puts Dom down. He calls this her home too. Now, they sit and she asks him to spill. Why did he come to the restaurant to have a conversation with her? He says, Nate's been on my mind, and she was right to get him to consider if his relationship with Neil was preventing him from working with Nate. Now, he talked it over with Lily and can't stop thinking about how much support and faith Neil had in him. He didn't give that to Nate, though. Not that what he did was terrible. But he wonders if he put up a wall. And Abby asks, well, what's wrong with that? He then picks up Dom and tells him that his mom is supportive. Abby says the same thing about him. Devon puts the baby to bed upstairs and return asks Abby what's going on with her. Cue the violins, please. So she goes in talking about she wishes she knew her husband's heart half as much as she understands Devon. They've been having troubles and telling her BFF Devon that her husband never came home and they had a fight before that. He texted and that he needed time alone, and she wonders if this is how her marriage ends. She wonders if he's right and that he's not giving her everything she wants and that she needs. And it's just killing her to say that they're not compatible. Maybe she was blindsided by love. This man covered for your father for a crime and pretty much threw his integrity under the bus. Really, Abby? And then Devon asks her to pinpoint what she wants. She's not able to put it in words. Like there's a wall between them. And she wants to come first. And she wants more. Now Devon is like, look, there's nothing wrong with that. And he also thinks that she and Chance see the world differently. And he calls Chance a fool for not putting her and Dom first. Then this is where he says this.
I will say this though. Chance is a fool to not put you and Dominic first. Because for you, for both of you, I would move heaven and earth.
So, let me get this straight, Devon. You punched Nate in the face for doing this with Elena. And Abby, this is how you return graciousness to Chance for taking up for your dad and keeping him out of jail. Really? Yeah, they make eye contact. She moves in. They kiss. This is crazy. And I mean, they're making out. Meanwhile, ding dong, guess who's home? Look like a surprise visit from Devon's girlfriend, Amanda. So yeah, the elevator door opens down the hall. Amanda gets out and approaches the door. Yikes. So let's swing over to the ranch because Victor is asking how the unholy alliance, as I call the Three Stooges, meeting went with her, Ashley, and Phyllis. Now Nikki was like, oh, it's fine, and tells Victor what they learned, but she thinks he already know about all that. Now Victor's pretty sure that the man, meaning Tucker, is after something more. Nikki is tired of that woman, Diane, and wants her out of General City. Now, Victor tells her, then just let it go then. That's what I said. But he said he'll put his men on it. Now, she worries about Jack, but Victor does not. He says he always had a penchant for troublesome women. Now, Nikki reminds him that she was with Jack before. You talking about me too? Vic was like, no. You excluded. You know better than that. But for now, he'll find out what Tucker is really up to. Michael turns up, and he is glad that Victor got him out of a jam. Now, Nikki leaves, and Michael fills Victor in. Tucker has a connection with Audra Charles, but it's professional. Now, Victor thinks, I think that's bull, and that the man is up to something. Michael can see why, because they ponder what he's up to, and Victor reveals that Ashley's on it too. Now, Victor thinks Tucker wants to take over Chancellor Winters and Jabot, which he's right, and then fuse them and put Ashley in charge of Jabot while he and Devon run the empire. Now, Michael thinks it's kind of risky, but Kyle and Devon won't act or react kindly to a hostile takeover. Victor says Tucker will tell them that he wants to build a family, though. Now, back at the mansion, Kyle tucks Harrison in the bed and head downstairs to be with Diane. Now, he's been on the internet and is worrying about it being some type of bad situation, a bug that maybe Harrison caught in Costa Rica or a bite. Now, he recalls being sick as a child himself one time and how afraid he was, wondering if it would ever end. He pushed it and wound up being hospitalized, and he don't want his son to go through that either. And Diane is so sorry. Now, she worries about their relationship, but his mind is on Harrison. And then she cries about changing and that she wants him to know who she is now, not that person who let him be sick without a mom. And that her love for him and Harrison is the most realest thing about her. And then she holds his hand, asks if he knows. Kyle knows, however, that Jeremy and Tucker have boxed her in. And he believes that she actually just wanted to come to Genoa City, and how she did whatever it took to make that happen. The men took advantage of her, and whatever she did in LA, he is willing to let go. And it brought her back to him and Harrison. Diane is happy about it, but she also wishes Summer will feel the same. So now over at the Grand Phoenix, Audra turns up at Tucker's room, and he was like, what the hell, it's about time. And she's surprised he moved hotels. He was like, well, I want to support the family business since Devon's company owns the Grand Phoenix now. Now, Audra's sorry that Nate had to have a conscience, but she thinks that the IPO will eventually go ahead. Tucker likes those odds, and he ended up saying it might just be time to turn brother against sister. Okay, so there you have it, your Young and the Restless recap for Monday, November 7th, 2022. Stay tuned for the bold and the beautiful recap also for today. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Bye.